What's up, everybody? This is the RTG podcast.
Yes, sir.
This week we're going to be having a shorter episode because this is basically a farewell episode to this computer.
You
I'm
keep
getting
saying
a
that, scaring
new
me.
computer next week. I'm sorry, I'm traumatizing my friend. But yeah, my name is Kao.
It's your boy Solo.
This is the RTG podcast.
Let's get it.
And I have topics to talk about, but if you would like to lead the conversation somewhere else, let me know.
No, I'll take you to Area 51 and, and zombies and shit.
Go ahead if you have
Yes.
something that you want to talk about this week. I'm just tired of this lag. I'm tired of seeing it lag,
Yeah.
and I have fixed that because today is Black Friday. Today is the
Hey.
Friday after Thanksgiving. Fun fact, we always record on Friday, and if that box is on his face when I do the editing, I'm gonna be hot.
Go back. We can just stop it now and check it
But
out.
it's fine. This is one of
It's
our
on your
first
face, too.
episodes where it's a work in progress, so bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. Next week it's gonna be crispy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it like that.
Yes, bro.
Does it-
it's a nice laptop that's
Does it have an
coming.
HDMI port? 'Cause,
Yes,
you
it
know,
does.
These new laptops is weird now. with
Yes,
these,
I know.
Ports and shit. I'm like, yo.
I specifically asked for that. I'm like, I need it to have an HDMI.
'Cause I got hella.
I need it
left.
to have hella of USBs. I need all of that.
8 USB ports.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Go ahead, man.
Topic wise, man, let's. No, I didn't. We're definitely following your lead, and I was just saying I was just talking, man. I want to talk. I want the family here.
Yes.
Bro, I can't do the lag. I heard you laugh. I looked at the thing and your face was
Yes.
straight.
Yes, bro. It's
Bro,
pissing
I
me
had to
off
look
too.
I had to
It's
look at you
pissing me
real
off.
quick to confirm that you were just laughing.
It catches up sometime, but most of the time it's like
I was like,
3-5 seconds behind. But bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to fix
we can
this.
go live next week too, huh?
Not yet. Not on YouTube anyway, because on YouTube they have it to where you have to have a certain amount of followers to even
Go
be able to go live. So we could go live on Twitch if we made a Twitch
Ooh.
account, but that's a conversation for another time.
How many followers you need to go live on YouTube? 'Cause I can get us the followers today. We just pay
I
for 'em.
don't know.
Fuck it.
Don't say that because they're gonna listen to it. They're gonna be like,
No, just kidding.
no, they're not. They're not. They're not gonna listen. They don't care. We got like 5 followers right now, so they're not tripping. if we had
Oh, they
if we had a
listen. They
million,
gotta cut us a check. They gonna be like, nah, let's review some of these videos. Oh yeah.
I think you have to have like 1,000 followers to for them to cut you a check for you to get paid.
All I know is Facebook just deposited $45 into my account. I'm trying to figure out why.
That's kind of weird.
Facebook. I'm glad they have my account information to deposit.
I'd be like, hey man, don't be coming to me later talking about
We
we
need that
sent
money
you
back.
that money on accident. We need
I
that back.
spent it on purpose.
I'd be like, oh, well, that money's gone, sir.
Swear
That
to
money
God.
has been spent.
Accordingly.
I spent that the second it hit my hand,
I was like,
actually.
let me withdraw this before they think it's a mistake.
Yeah, fuck out of here with that.
Think before they find the mistake.
Yeah, but yeah.
You have a letter on you, brother.
So you say you want to talk about like some kind of
You said we can't
conspiracy
review-
theory,
yeah.
extraterrestrial type of.
Nah.
We could take a break from relationships tonight and
What's
go down
crazy
the
is-
gay road.
No. It's not.
Oh, I'm gonna the solo road. I'm gonna edit that out.
No.
Solo road.
Because I don't even want it to be like me associated with the craziness. I'm not the craziest. I'm dropping lighters.
Bars. You didn't even mean to say that, but that was bars.
Sugar free baby. I'm from LA, baby, man. All we do is spit rhymes.
He said, "I'm not trying to be the craziest or be known for the crazy-ish or something." You said, but it went.
It's crazy seeing you do it here and then catching
Yes, it's very weird. It's
It's
very weird.
weird to see someone else doing it. No, I said crazy sis and crazy.
This
We'll
is
watch it. We'll
you
run
guys
it back.
enjoy the lag because this is the end of it.
All right, so now let's watch. Can we review Joe Rogan?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, you want to review Joe Rogan? You got an episode in mind? You want to increase the
we can't
lag?
do Kevin
Yes, we.
Samuels. So
Bro, I have topics set up. If you want to go down the
let's
red pill road, we
yeah,
can.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's keep it Red Pill content.
Okay,
We gotta say
back
true
to
the
the red
brand.
pill content, baby. I have something set up for just an occasion as such. But yeah, let me open up the browser and increase the lag. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen.
He said, "Oh, you want to increase the lag?"
Yeah. Oh,
Do you believe in aliens?
Yes. You want to talk about aliens, bro? We can talk about aliens. I do believe in aliens.
Do you think they're here with us?
Possibly. Possibly. Most likely.
What is
Most
alien?
likely.
What is alien?
I'll define that as something from another planet. Or like something
Bigger,
from not
smaller
here.
than us. I would think a virus, that's
I-
here making
I-
us sick. These new could be alien.
A virus
it's
could
not
be
man
alien, yes.
Man created,
Yes, I agree.
Shit crashing. Shit.
Something could
we
crash.
study it. We
Listen,
study it
something
like
could
it's-
crash on a meteorite,
Yeah.
and it'd be like a microbe or something, and that's alien. Yeah.
We call it the new virus, the flu that we now creating vaccines for, but it
Mhm.
lives amongst us. We can't see.
Yeah. I agree.
What's alien? Are we aliens?
Okay.
I see birds
Maybe.
land on hippos and they communicate, and there's fish that swim in and out the mouths of sharks, but clean them and clean. We're the only creature on this planet that doesn't have like this communication with other creatures. Dogs and cats don't know how to communicate.
We have a kind of symbiotic relationship with
That
them,
was the word, true.
and as well.
We have more of like a commanding demeanor over these creatures. We don't have like a relationship. We don't know how to interact with animals. We don't,
We
unless
do.
you're a trainer or unless you've lived with the creature. You don't have like this innate like, okay, they're telling me this.
There's these people who they live in like Papua New Guinea or something. They live in like one of those Indian countries, and they live off the coast, and they don't come onto the land. They live in the water,
Oh yeah.
and they
I've seen
swim,
that.
and they can hold their breath for like a long amounts of times, and they have web feet and stuff.
Seen that.
And those
Documentary.
people, I feel like they probably got crazy relationships with fish and probably like dolphins and stuff. The dolphins probably see them all the time fishing and try to help them. And I've heard stories of dolphins saving people, saving their life.
Helping us, but we can never really truly help them.
We can't.
Outside
We
of
do.
medicine and
That's what all the activism is about. That's the part of human nature
other
coming
than
up
just leaving
saying
them alone and keeping
we need
their
to-
environment to them.
that's impossible. That's impossible because it's also our environment because we're here too. We share the environment.
We're
with
the only
them.
we're the only creature that destroys the environment. We live external of it. I mean, look at the house. We're walking on carpet.
I mean, pests destroy environment too. That's why they call them pests. Like a swarm of locusts tear up a farm. You know,
But you got birds that can
pests
eat 'em.
can be.
It's food source too.
But
It's
there's
only
certain animals like
only
if they're
for a season.
there's certain animals if
Come
they're
get a
introduced to a certain ecosystem, they will destroy that ecosystem. You know, by
Like
a certain
rats
type
to
of
New York, you know what I'm
rats, certain type of beetle or
saying?
something.
On islands, rats didn't exist on islands. Now they
Yeah.
can leave and they're fucking running rapid.
You feel me? So yeah,
Most-
but
most
human beings
yachts.
have. I agree that human beings have done some damage to the world.
For sure.
Yes, we have. But saying that we're the only creature that does that,
No, not even the damage. We live external of the world, although we're on it.
some of
we
us,
put ourselves in houses away
some
from
of us,
artificial air, AC, like little like carpet. What? Some of us have never have. Some of you watching this podcast in the last 365 days, just being very generous with that one as well, have not touched Earth.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some people have not feet to Earth.
That's
not
like a
sand, not
progressive
dirt, not grass. In 300
insult.
In
Go touch
365
Earth.
days.
That's like a
Have
young
you put
people insult. Huh?
Is it? Yeah.
What you saying?
Have you put your feet to ground? Master M65.
Yes,
Remember?
I love walking around barefoot. But
Yeah, that's all to say we live external to the world. Like some people, you can think right now, like you're not. And every time you touch dirt, you wash your hands hella fast, and you don't relish being outside. You don't go hiking. You don't breathe fresh air, artificial light, artificial air,
what about
AC.
technology? You don't like technology?
Fuck no.
You don't think?
That's what makes
What
it so
about
bad.
balance? No
So,
balance?
not in the grand scheme of things. I cut the TV on, try to watch it with the cat and dog. They don't care about that. That's the true world. Consciousness is our downfall. We think too much because we have thoughts, and therefore,
I think cats and dogs are not the same as humans. I feel
nah,
like
for sure.
we could kind of see the future in a way that they can't.
Yeah, we also just
They can
destroyed
only
the future as
they can
well.
only see till they're hungry, probably, and that's it.
I mean, what's life?
And they gotta have sex too there, so that those like the carnal um
We have
desires.
the privilege and the some would say blessing, right? But it's not because it's destroying the earth to see past just wanting to eat and live to see tomorrow,
Yes.
right? Through consciousness, right?
Uh-huh.
But our bottom line is still that. And that being their bottom line, they haven't gone and sought technology and gone and looked to put on clothes or
When you say that, what do you mean?
to eat and to like
Carnal
the next
desires.
meal. Yeah, yeah,
Uh huh.
yeah. Because they haven't been able to see past that through consciousness like we have and
Mhm.
sit and plan and they haven't advanced like we have to technology. But technology is definitely going to be our downfall.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that in the future we're gonna become one with technology.
Nah,
We're gonna have more symbiotic
and that's going to be
relationships. The
terrible.
same way we have phones.
That's
Eventually, the phone is
terrible.
gonna be inside of us, and
That's
then it's gonna become part of
terrible.
us.
That's terrible.
And then people are basically are gonna like become like gods,
Because that's already
because
there.
we're gonna be able to live way longer than what we can now, and maybe
Wow.
infinitely.
We already
So
have,
it's gonna
but
be like,
not through technology. Technology is not going to be that.
I think it is.
When
Some
you
people,
when you understand
I think
consciousness,
some people are gonna feel like you feel. Some people are not gonna become one with
this
technology,
is
and
where
there's gonna be a group of people who we're the humanist, we're the humanists, and then there's gonna be a group of people who go, we embrace technology,
you
and they're gonna become
technology
one with
gives
it.
you the cloud, which all data is stored, and then
Hmm.
you have access to this repository that you can pull from at any point in time,
Yes,
like Google. What
like
you don't,
data.
what people don't understand about consciousness,
Mm.
right, and energy
Mm.
is that repository already exists, and it's through energy, which is how you access it, which is where, like, a cat being born but always knowing how to like that instinctual drive comes from. That's
Uh-huh.
consciousness being pulled from something you just can't explain. It's just we all know at some point in time we got to walk on these legs, right? Before you, we're now externalizing the cloud to these technologies to where we don't need it. I used to remember every number that's in my phone that was important. Now because I have this, I can't tell you my mom's number right now, or
Yes,
maybe that's the only number I can tell you off the top of my head.
that's
And that's where the disconnect comes into play.
okay.
And for this to create that and then be implanted is a further disconnect.
That's
Where
part of the
if I just
symbiosis.
oh,
Go ahead.
it's terrible.
I don't think it's terrible.
And that's where that comes. Did you know that the writer of, and this is crazy, The Matrix also wrote Terminator? Like it's all one story.
Yeah.
And there's another one. It's like a pre, before, and after. It's all one
Well, I
story.
don't know. I don't know about that, but
Yeah, and it's, to see it all intertwined is actually quite crazy.
I think that is a possibility of
It's
this
crazy.
technology turning into Terminator, but I don't think so because we're the ones making it.
Yeah,
We're making it.
we're also the ones destroying the world at the quickest rate that it has ever been destroyed. And at the end, if a meteorite was to hit this ground right now, what do you think would come back first, us or all these organisms that we claim to be
Something else.
unintellectual? Nah,
Something else. It
they
might
be
not get back
reborn.
to us.
Every plant.
We might be an
We have
anomaly.
we have wildfires now. What happens when there's a wildfire that hits and there's bunkers on these fields that get hit, right? The wildfire hits, boom, clears everything to ash. What grows? The life
New
that was
plants.
there.
New
Yeah,
plants.
not new buildings. New people aren't coming out the ground. These new plants and the organisms that lived and helped to keep these plants afloat return for some strange reason.
Hmm.
Not us.
We might. Something might.
Technology is not a part of that
This might be an
And
end point
that
to
is the
humanity.
very
I think.
ash is like the very most finite before you get to an atom. Because if you take ash and you break it up, it flows away into the atoms that it
I think
is.
technology is an extension of us. Actually, I think it's our child.
What? You're
We
so
are. I
scary.
think we are birthing
I didn't know
technology,
this,
and
people. This is
technology
scary.
is gonna in turn turn around and
We are
transform
not
us.
God.
I think
We
it
are an
is gonna
extension of.
literally make us immortal, if that's what we want. We could choose. We could say in the future that, hey, a part of being a human being is not living forever. So you might
We
not
already
want that.
create life.
You know.
The women in the human race or all mammalian races create life.
Yes.
So now to have externalized creation of life is no longer within our mammalian ways. That is not right. And just at that very base way of explaining that, you have now externalized the creation of life to
Mm.
this other avenue,
Due to
which is not
technology,
not
yes.
through women, but it's through man
Technology.
and woman individually to cooperatively can create this.
Technology, yeah.
That's not life no more.
I think eventually
That's
it's gonna get to a point where it's
God.
indistinguishable from life. Like computers are gonna get to a point
That's not the
to
point though.
where they're gonna
That's
they're
even
gonna become
scarier.
they're gonna
And
become
I believe
conscious,
that.
and they're gonna be like, hey,
I believe it is
we
now.
feel now. We have feelings, and we don't like this or that. So you guys are like in Matrix. This happened in the
It's happening
Animatrix,
now.
where they said like the computers, they got to a certain point where
You were patient.
they wanted rights and stuff, and then this one computer got killed in the humans' land, and then the computers got mad about it, and they went off and built their own island. And then eventually their island got so technically advanced that they sent some emissaries back, and instead of coming to like negotiate with the human beings, they just blew up. They blew up, and the
Because
human beings
energy.
that were left, they came and made them like subjugate. But no, then a war started. A war started, and then the people blocked out the sky to stop the sunlight, so they couldn't use the sunlight,
It's power.
and then as power,
But they
and then
figured out another
and
way.
then the machines came and got the people and made them the power source, which
That's the
is
Matrix.
stupid because they could use the thermal energy from the earth. But so that makes no sense. Why would they use human energy when there's wind energy, there's all type of other energy that
If you
we.
block the sun, don't you essentially block the moon, which creates the tides and the winds?
No, the moon will still be there. The moon's influence on the tides will still be there, because the clouds don't affect that. They could like make something go up, like fly up, and then like go above the clouds and like be on the surface and collect the energy, but who knows. But
Uh,
I think that you're wrong about technology. I don't think that it's trying to kill us. I
it's,
think we are birthing it,
yeah.
and eventually, and we are probably going to be long gone, or maybe a version of us will still be here, but it will like become one with humanity. And I think that's some of the alien stuff we've been seeing. I think maybe at some point in the future this has already happened, and those beings are coming back and seeing how it was before that time. They're like, this is the time before we became one with technology. Look, that's what a car looked like. Those are what people look like,
Low key, only because I'm a conspiracist, bro. Like, you can do so much more with the power of the mind if we learn how to tap back into it. Like, seeing some of these documentaries and these conspiracy theorist
Mm.
shows where, like, they were using, like, less material and just really earth, but still moving, building, and creating, and being able to push that creation through.
Yes.
Like, there's different ways of doing it. We're just at the most primitive state of it
There's this
and
guy
how
who
we're
went on Joe
moving.
Rogan, who he was talking about
Talking about,
ancient
yeah, but it was more
technologies and ancient cities and stuff, and he was saying that the scientists think that humanity is like I'm gonna mess
is
this up, but like around like eighty
external.
thousand years old or something.
Yeah.
But he said that he found evidence that humanity is actually like over 100,000 years old,
Yeah.
and it's been here for a lot longer than what the scientists think.
Yeah,
And I'm
well, I don't
probably I'm
believe
probably
it.
messing those numbers
And
up, but
they just
you
tell
know.
us anything, bro. No, I don't believe anything I learned in school. At the end of
But
this,
some of the scientists are telling the truth, bro. And I feel like this new guy who's coming out, and he's saying like, "Hey, old scientists are wrong. They don't want to change their ways because they careers are set on this
yeah,
knowledge." But the
that's all
the
you know.
real is that we're actually a lot older. And I feel like I could see that. I I feel like ain't no telling how long human beings have been on this
Yeah,
planet.
because it will go against religion and Christianity, which is the main, standard
I
for
don't think so. This guy who's
America,
I don't know. I don't think so.
for the freer world,
I think
for the free world.
it goes against reputation. Like the
Christianity, when they say when Jesus,
Christianity has nothing to do with the
everything is
science
A
of how old
or
things are.
BC.
You know, the scientists are coming up with those theories. They're not listening to no theologian about that. They're laughing in that dude's face. So they are what the scientists of today think is that we are maybe I'm messing these numbers up. I know I am, but that we are
Whatever the
maybe
numbers are,
12,000 years old.
I believe we're older than what
You
they
know,
say.
but this guy is saying we might be more than 100,000 years. You know that we've
Yeah,
been
think
here,
about
or a version of us.
language, like even this to be able to communicate this quickly and to understand what it is that we're saying, like,
Uh,
and then to be recorded. I actually feel really weird right now. I feel like an alien. This is crazy.
like
We're
there's
sitting here in front of a camera recording. The cat's over here, like, yo, what the fuck is going
to the cat.
on? Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
All the dogs that we have are like new breeds that we've been creating, breeds of
We've
dogs
been
that
doing
we've
it.
been,
We've been splitting them.
to sit here and think of the fish in my tank are
That would suck if an
like,
alien race came to Earth and did that to us.
that's what we're doing to them right now.
There's this YouTube
We're living in houses.
cartoon.
Like, dang.
No, it's a comic. There's this comic, and they talk about how like these aliens they come to Earth and then they turn human beings into like different versions of us.
Bro, we are the aliens, bro.
We might be. We might be alien.
I think it's the shrooms that just hit.
How much you didn't even? How
I
much?
took one bar, but it just, bro. Think about we're the UFOs flying across the sky to these creatures that are like, yo,
Yeah.
here we are. We come crash landing on this ship that destroys this whole race of giant, and now here we are.
We evolved alongside them, brother.
Man, I mean,
We evolved.
we did.
We were like probably
These
a monkey
guys.
creature at first, something primitive, and then we like just over time, we kept evolving with them. But I think we discovered mushrooms, or we discovered drugs some type of way. We ate one of the plants, and it made us think about things differently. And when we thought about things differently, we started eating meat. We started
They eat that
eating
shit too,
protein,
and they
like
get
higher level protein, and that's what allowed us to have the brain size we have. Because if you notice with gorillas, they
They
have
eat the
they have a
same
giant
shit.
gut
We'd be.
because they have to eat grass all day, and grass does not have high
I don't
like
think we're
a
gorillas.
good
Their
level of
skin is
protein
white.
in it.
I don't have gorilla skin. You shave a gorilla, they don't look nothing like me.
Yes, but their guts, their physiology is very similar to ours, but they have to process all that grass they eat. They don't, but they eat other. They'll eat another monkey if they can catch it, but they don't eat
We
meat
should
all
be
the time.
eating grass, lettuces, and all that good shit.
No, the reason why their brain is not as big as ours is because they don't eat meat. They don't. Their meat is not predominantly. They're like an omnivore or whatever. I forget what the word is, but it means they eat everything.
Yeah.
They eat whatever they can get their hands on. But we eat, more protein, more meat than any other primate. And that's why we're smarter than them. I think,
Because
because
we
the
need
protein
that in our
levels.
diet to stay alive. Type
And
shit.
it makes our brains bigger. It makes our brains much bigger than theirs because they just eat bananas and you know. But they've seen monkeys making tools and stuff.
What
But
about vegans? What would you say to vegans? Or
um,
are
I don't think I don't think they get enough protein, bro. I don't think that it's a viable way to live, really. But I think you could live that way. You're just not gonna be able to bulk up. You're not gonna be able to. You can sustain yourself, but it's just not. You need a high quality protein to become like a bodybuilder or to sustain your weight.
you just need
Like we know of
the
people
right
who turned vegan and then they got smaller,
steroids.
right? They lost mass.
Body recomp, maybe. They lost a lot of fat.
Hmm.
But I've seen some who continue to work out and they're like, all right, cool. Like,
I know. I'm pretty sure that there's some vegan bodybuilder
they're
who
like, now
would
you should
see
go
this
vegan
and be
too. And
mad.
it's like,
Yes.
you can't really tell them no. 'Cause like,
But I don't know. I feel like it's better for you to eat
Let me think about
meat and
it.
veggies.
I
Meat
can't.
and veggies. You should have a balanced diet. You
Dang.
shouldn't just eat one because we're not built for that. We're not built like that. We're built to eat a balanced diet.
Like some real aliens, like to this planet.
I don't think. I think we're just like the other animals on this planet.
I think we moved here because the monkeys were the closest to us. So it was like, that's where we can live. Think about that.
I think we might have
That's
been
how we got here.
transplanted here like
It
that.
was like, dang, that means the environment is, this is the closest, and we're still number one.
Hmm.
So this is where we should move. Dang,
Yes.
think about. This is not our first Earth. That's how we know there's more. That's how we knew to look up. Because why you wouldn't make a telescope to look up if all you saw was that? I mean, yeah, we're thinking about it, yeah.
If the scientist is correct and
Or
we're
we'd have to be here for a really long time to be like, hey,
and we're over 100,000 years old, then
yeah,
hey, that's a lot of time for people to think about things and look
you know
around
what I'm
and
saying?
observe the stars.
That's
That's before
crazy.
like human-made light. So they're probably sitting underneath a crazy starry night, and they're like, oh, they're pontificating and
Oh
they're
my
creating
God,
these
about Starry
gods and
Night.
these religions and love and death and all this stuff. Then that's where over time those were crafted into the religions that were the moral scaffolding to the world that got us to this point. You know, good and bad has come from them. They're a tool upon which to run your life that can be used for good or bad. Is what I believe. But I feel like there are some religions that are there's a hierarchy of religions. There's a hierarchy of everything. And at the top is Christianity.
We should not talk about religion.
Hey man, we could talk about whatever you want to talk
No,
about.
no religion. Only because religion is spicy. And there's a lot of people dying over their religion right now. Just even in 2022.
Yes,
still to this day, and
Christians.
it's like
Christian people get killed for being Christian in
Christians
other
pe-
countries.
from America. Christians from America go to
No,
war.
other Christians that just
They
live in
sign
their
up for war.
country, they get murdered
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, every
for whatever,
religion
for being
in
a
general,
Christian.
it doesn't matter what. Everybody, no one should be dying over that because of who you want to serve. Like,
You
not
feel me?
government wise. Like, you
Could
still
you imagine
abide
if
by the
somebody was
government.
knocking on your
Still
door?
getting your driver's license. Christianity don't say get a driver's license. Don't know religion say get a driver's license.
Hmm.
We get one, so as long as we abide by that, cool. Like, no one should be dying over their religion.
Christianity
no
says
reason.
to abide by the laws of the land. If you live in that land and they say get a driver's license to drive their vehicles, then that's what you should be doing.
Yeah,
Because
that's everybody.
you don't want to be fighting society. Might as well move to another society if you're gonna fight it. And that's what I don't get about some of the. I mean, I can understand being mad about the way things are and wanting to change them and working hard to change them. I can get that, so I can get behind that. But just straight up complaining on Twitter about it and then threatening moving to another country, but not really
Oh, you
doing
don't want
nothing.
to move to another country. That's the last thing you want to do.
You're not really about that life.
See, we shouldn't be complaining about here or there, is because definitely safer, a little safer here.
Yeah.
Unless you're black. If you're a black male here, you're not safe.
It's
You-
pretty much going to be the same for you
Wherever
wherever
you
you
go.
move. You got to
Worse,
keep
so
your head
bro,
on a swivel, brother.
At least here, the internet work when someone upload a video. It might get
feel
taken
me?
down, but they can save
It
it.
might get taken down, but you can at least
They gotta
upload it.
Send it to people. Send it to Android. Send
You-
it to iPhone. 'cause
You might get
iPhone,
censored later, but you get the first try.
They
You
gonna
get to
delete
try
the
it.
video for this. They can go into your phone and delete
Yes.
photos and videos.
I
from your
heard
phone.
that Google
Text.
Drive was going into people's drives and deleting the
Remove it.
episode of Drink Champs with Kanye
Whatever,
on
yeah,
it.
whatever. it
They were
was.
going in and deleting it.
Before they deleted some shit from my phone. I know for a fact.
Yes, bro. That's
And
not
they're doing
conspiracy
that.
theory. That's
Yeah.
real. That came out in the
You need
news.
to
That's
send it
real.
to everybody. Y'all need to screen record it, save it on your. Once you get it, save it to your phone on a different. Man, fuck that. Because there's recordings of niggas getting stomped down and shot at by police. And can't no one find no more. The
But-
Wayfair photos.
We
Dang,
need to
we
be
don't need to
saving
click for
these
this.
videos to hard drives and stuff too.
The
because they
Wayfair
are
videos,
deleting
you
them.
cannot find them. Look for all of those. Yeah. Even the hard drive, bro. Make sure it's not a Wi-Fi. Makes it like a little solid
Oh
little
yeah, it's standalone.
block, a
But
standalone.
because it's connected to my
As
computer,
soon as you
I
plug
feel
it
like
up,
a
it's a
hacker
wrap.
could get into
Yeah.
it either.
Mm.
He's in there. So,
Yeah, right
and
now
I'm
we just
not the
like,
most tech savvy person. So,
and we just said the keywords. He's like, oh yep, y'all niggas
yep,
thought y'all could. Soon as
I'm
we,
in.
soon
I'm in.
this video ain't not even gonna make it, yo.
There's nothing in
R.I.P.
there. There's videos of us talking in there to still. So, have at it. And then the videos from the previous person whose hard drive this is.
Oh
You'll get
shit.
his videos. Because I'm sure
And
I don't think you can
if
delete
you make
data,
some money
bro.
off those, hacker, let me know. No,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, no.
I think it's still there. Even when you try to delete it, it's still on the computer. Like
Somewhere.
they can get it. You know.
Go somewhere. That's crazy. That's why technology is so bad. And this is
It's
why I
not
say
bad.
like
It's
this is why I
it's
say
bro. It's both bad and good, bro.
AI is literally so you think all these internet devices at some point all these internet devices connect up to this one singular point,
Uh huh.
right? Like the brain, like all of this isn't just in some random spaces. There's all it links up one place in this one singular cloud, which is why we're all able to access it.
Uh huh.
Right, as soon as we upload it from where we're at. If I'm the internet, if I'm this the internet, I'm patient. I understand what, and I'm emotionless.
Mhm.
How long could I sit and wait and kick back and store up data till I needed nobody else to do it? You know,
I feel
like
like
a really long time. Like even right now, like it's planning a takeover, but it's
Okay.
so patient and emotionless at the same time that it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna take all this info in.
that's a
You see
possibility.
what I'm saying?
But I feel like for a super smart AI that you're describing, I don't think it would take it long to kind of understand us. And I feel like for it to really have control over us, it would have to take over like
It
the
has.
nuclear codes to
has.
something, and it would have to be able
It
to
has them.
use those
Where are they
nuclear
stored?
codes.
Do you think niggas
But
got them
no,
in their head
those
anymore?
computers that the nuclear missiles launch, they're not connected to the internet or whatever. They're not connected to anything. So you'll have to go to that site and turn the key, and two people got to turn the key, stand there, turn the key, and then they launch or whatever. You know, I'm sure they probably got some where they could send it off from remotely.
But those are physical
You
times
know,
they gotta go.
but you still probably got to go there to initiate it. They probably call somebody like launch the missile.
AI get that smart. All they gotta do is whoever got the shit implanted in them.
Once we get robots, though, once we get robots and
You
we
talking
get
about
people with
implants?
implants, yes, we will be susceptible to hacking.
Niggas got Bluetooth legs. As soon
Yes.
as a robot get that leg, robot will
Boom.
pop that leg.
Hacked your leg. Your
and
leg is
crawl your
done.
ass to the-
I do think there's this cartoon called there's this anime called Ghost in the Shells, and Ghost in the Shells to me is one of the most
Final Fantasy
accurate portrayals of the future. I really like
Let's see. You
Edge
can't-
Runners. I really like Cyberpunk Edge Runners. It just came out on Netflix,
You say anime
and it was cool.
show you the most. What you like? Are they fully integrated into like?
You should see. Have you ever seen Ghost in the Shells?
I feel like some episodes.
It's probably my
when you said
favorite
it, I was
anime.
like, yeah.
That's probably my
But I
in
don't
my
think I got
top
that. I
5
gotta watch it again. To get
animes.
that. Yeah.
But the way they portray human beings in the future is how I think it's gonna be. Like there's gonna be some human beings where like they're so integrated with technology that you can't even tell if they got a brain, if there's any organic material in them at all. You know, and I feel like at some point we're gonna have technology that's like organic technology. And on that show they had a guy, his name was Proto, and Proto on that show, he was like he had blood. He had like white blood, and he was like an organism himself, but he wasn't human, but he was like AI. He was like the next level of
It's
AI.
oil. That's what it is.
And I'm like, yeah, I could see that happening. And there's like the protagonist of this anime,
And we got
she's
blood
a
and water,
girl.
they got
She's a girl, and she's one of the first people who like she got injured as a kid, and they put her brain into like a robotic body, and she was one of the first people to go fully cyborg like with her body, and she's like one of the best pilots of a body like that. So I think I could see that being the future. You know,
You know what's crazy is that, and we're really building a race. Then at that point, if you think about that, we're building
Yes.
a race of life.
yes,
Dang.
At some point, we will take over. Like people will, if it
Whoa,
becomes economical,
wait, wait,
people will
wait, wait, wait.
decide what
Listen,
people are born.
listen to me.
We already kind of do.
We do. We're building a race from the ground up.
Yes.
We started with its atoms and its trees, and one day it's going to get so. I can see it doing like being able to recreate itself.
Yes.
So
We
think
talking
about
about
okay.
with
So
computers?
what are we? So then what are we?
That's what we are. We are like we're a system that is updating by having children. That's
We've
how we
evolved.
update, bro.
Do you believe we've evolved?
By having children.
There was some guiding factor and like a force behind that.
The desire to have sex, basically. Our carnal
But I'm
desires
saying
are
like
what pushed
yeah,
us.
and then like a initial starting point, like a god or like a bunch of gods, like
I think before gods, there was just hunger. There was sexuality. There was like animals, like you were saying before.
so
We
what
were
is
like
this?
animals
So
at
let's
first.
compare it to this now. So before there was even this, we had
Mhm.
like pay phones
Yes.
and now it's this and it's still too slow and what we gonna push out next is going
Just we're gonna become one with technology, and we're not gonna need none of this. We'll be able to like.
that's
There'll be a
crazy.
camera, but we'll be able to like connect to the internet and
Nah, I
have
think
it
we're gonna
have it
sell
stream straight to the internet from our brain. Like on that's how Ghost in the Shells is. They have like
It's either gonna be of
they
us,
could connect.
one with us,
Mm.
or something totally separate.
Some people are gonna be like even in Ghost in the Shells. There's some people who don't have any um augmentation to their body. They don't have any like fully organic. They're like a regular person. And then there's some people who are heavily modified. Like it's just the brain that's left
Also, this is just the evolution stage
of
this.
humanity, of
Yeah.
what we would look like. There's some people who are like it's
Yeah,
full
that's okay,
cyborg.
bro. Yo.
And there's androids in the future. There's robots that are fully robot, that are good at acting like humans in this cartoon.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
a
just
dope
thinking
cartoon.
about.
It's
I've
a
never
dope.
thought about like, and I have, but not as deeply. But
Mm.
it just being like the next step. Like fuck it, that's just what we become.
Yes.
Just these auto voices.
Or not.
Am I even real then?
That is basically
saying? Like,
at the core of what the question is that this anime
this
is
is already
asking.
gonna survive.
It's the name of the anime is Ghost in the Shells, because at the end of the day she's wondering, like, because so much of her has become robot, like, does she have a soul still? Is she still human? Because even like parts of her brain I think is like robotic. So it's like, am I human? Am I part of this race? She could have fake memories in the future.
I'm wearing metal.
In the future, they have like the ability to put fake memories into your brain. So imagine that. Like you don't even know if your life was a real life that you lived. Like, or some of your memories could be fake or altered.
Yeah, what if AI isn't even AI? AI is just metal. This is why we have this infatuation with it. What,
Yeah.
what if metal's the alien?
Metal is like some of the part of the elements.
Like,
And I feel
I
like
wanna-
we are part of the elements, and we kind of
I wanna go down that route.
we're trying to become one with everything. That's what enlightenment is
crazy.
about.
I don't.
Where we want to become one with everything.
Not with AI, bro.
Yes. That's what all the scientists is about. That's all them all the scientists doing the science. That- That's innate within us as human beings. Like even monkeys create tools and stuff. That's
We
just
just
us.
do this.
We're that's us on a lower level. We love to create things and technology and in an easier way of doing things. You know,
Who's in control?
a small amount of us, like,
The machines.
relatively speaking.
Because once we all right, so once we become 50% or more, even think you get to 30% machine,
Uh-huh.
you're no longer human.
Do you ask what you think?
Yeah. What is? I mean, for what human?
Okay.
You're a humanoid now, right?
Yes.
All right. So
I think that
I mean, this is already like 5-10%. Like we can't go a day without our phones, like type shit.
I think that even
Our
major
memory is in the cloud.
in Ghost in the Shells, she's still human being. She's a human. She has memories. She has emotions. She has wants, goals. She has love. She has, she has all those things. So
That's crazy because there's an app for all of that right now, which is how they're collecting
yeah, that's
everything else.
fine. Even if they came out with, let's say there was AI, like the AI in the cartoon that I'm describing, Proto. Even Proto, if Proto was here, I would accept him as a being. I'd be like, you have rights.
Proud of
You are a
man.
person.
He
You
sound like he
you
worked for
you are
AI.
alive, bro. You live. You breathe. I'm watching you. You have opinions. You're not just a robot. You are a robot as well. But before that, I'm gonna treat you like a human being because I could tell. Like Proto is basically another life form, bro. It's like, but he looks humanoid. He's humanoid. He's a guy. He wears a suit. He has long hair. You know, he's dope. But I will be fully able to accept an organism like that into society.
Can it fade?
I'm like, oh yeah, man.
That's like Terminator coming in town, like saying like, all right, y'all going to jail because y'all 30 or y'all got to get 50% or less additions to you mechanically AI, so we can watch you at least the eyes and hear.
That's
Bro,
different.
you
If
could
they
never
start
run a
talking
red.
like
You could
that,
never run a red light. At that point, like just go ahead. Like you talking about control.
but we have laws.
I'm scared of niggas being Teslas. Be scared can just repo itself.
That's going to be a
Imagine,
possibility in
yeah,
the future.
imagine you
Yes,
owing like half of your body to somebody, and they turn it on to where you can no longer even say no. You just in line.
that's going to be a possibility
Like,
in the future. There was a movie about these guys. There,
I'm
it's
thinking
called
about this.
Repo.
Like, this
It's
is
called
crazy.
Repo, and it's about people who they owed money on their organs, and they would come and they would repossess the organ, even if it killed the person. They would come and take it. But yeah, that's a possibility. And in that case,
Say you
still
repossess an organ and come
morals and
back and take
ethics will win over
how you gonna
because
come back and get an organ?
if you don't have the money, don't get the organ, bro. Just live life. Live life. If you don't have the money,
Don't buy an organ from him
yeah,
because he will come and repo
because they
it.
gonna come repo it. So you can only buck the system so hard before you gotta really go at it.
With an organ, you think they just give you like some leeway?
Nah, man, not in the future. I don't see that happening.
You better have the money or you don't.
But I don't know.
That's
Maybe it'll
bad.
just affect your credit. Maybe it'll just affect your credit. You won't be able to get the next
So
organ
what
you
is
need.
human life worth? If everyone wants to live forever, then just say that. Because I don't think everyone should. So we can just boil it down.
I think that if
But
people did
if we're
start living
all gonna live
forever,
forever, then it can't be. It can't be to those standards because then we all have to be subjected to the same standards.
I think if we do start living
Because
longer,
human life
people
is
have
human
less
life.
kids, and then
Yeah.
people could, if we have like a internet or a digital place we all inhabit, then the need for more space will kind of go away.
Or people just stop breeding for the wrong reasons and breed for the right reasons over here. Everybody, you know. I'm sorry. We cut that out.
What are the right reasons?
Yeah. I don't know. Like I wouldn't breed like psoriasis if I would, and if I had a couple more diseases, I wouldn't, reproduce. I would adopt. Thinking about adopting now. No, no, dad. Just little stuff. Just nail biting subjects, but it's like we talking about a better race. Instead of throwing viruses out to do population control, let's have a conversation.
That's nothing though. The life,
Is what I'm
your
talking about.
genes are valuable into the future because you may have something to offer in the future that you don't even know. One of your ancestors in the future could do something very important, you know, and you can't be the one to play God and be like, nah, you don't need to live, you don't need to exist because my back hurts because I have bad genes, bad back genes. That's not right. You gotta have kids, bro.
Jeez.
I have bad knee genes, so I'm not gonna have kids.
No.
No, still have kids. It's people who probably got terrible stuff wrong with them, and they trying to have kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's stupid people with kids. Come on.
Oh, okay. So we're saying it. God, they want to say. I mean, just everybody, bro. Like, what we're talking about living forever, but they're rather like disease everyone with these plagues and I don't know. You think about who's in charge, the machines or us?
Hey, man. It's a crazy world out there, and hopefully,
I don't think Angelina Jolie is real.
Hey, a lot of those famous people supposedly,
I feel like
allegedly, are lizard people.
lizard people. I feel like we all are. What if we're not? We aren't mammals. We're lizards.
We're mammals.
We come out of
We don't come out of
sack.
an egg. We do come out of a sack, but
Yeah,
it's not an
slimy
egg.
sack. Yeah,
Everything comes out of a sack, though.
yeah.
Everything,
Everything, even the lizard
everything
brain.
lives in a sack.
Yeah,
Even the bird.
yeah. Bird. We don't fly.
But
We got scaly skin.
love y'all. Check in with us next week. Please
Nah.
like and subscribe this video. Please. The lag will be gone. It's already kind of greatly reduced right now, but
We
it'll
are
be
the
fully gone.
aliens. We are
He's
the
lit
aliens.
right now. But yes, thanks for rocking with
We
us.
are the aliens.
Peace.
Peace.
RTG. Boom. Boom. Yeah, see? Do you say I'm definitely still in Definitely. I do think that social media has had a great effect on women, and it has kind of, yes, ruined their expectations because I don't know, a lot of the women who I've met in my life have just not really had their heads on right. It's just been kind of crazy. But I think that's the majority of women are of people really. Most people are kind of have a school so we're just trying to hold it together. But women are a whole nother category of that, you know, because a guy you could kind of get through to a guy. You could kind of you could tell a guy something and kind of see him processing it. But that video was a perfect example of I have told women, I have literally looked women in their eyes and told them the nigga does not love you. And then they got pregnant by the guy anyway. So it's like it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what you say you know. It matters how you're living. And the way I see a lot of modern women living is like they just are frivolous with their bodies. They think that it's okay to sleep with as many guys as they want. And then they get mad when the guys that they want to marry don't like that. Because a lot of those women who I've seen sleep with a lot of guys, it affects their mind. It affects how they move. And they can try to say that it doesn't, but you can tell. You can just tell when you meet a girl who's like worldly and she's been around the block. It's like, yeah, it's kind of annoying in a way. It's like I'm supposed to be the charismatic one, okay? Calm down. But at the same time, like those kind of girls are like cool to be friends or cool to like smash one time and then be friends with her or whatever. But you don't wipe them because you know something wrong with her. Like this girl is too speaking to the mic. You got us looking real black out here right now, but I love it.
I saw some do. Some of the crazies get wiped out. You know, so like they out here.
Yeah, like I said, not all, but a majority of, in my opinion, a majority of women are crazy or like low key, like got some type of mental illness going on that's undiagnosed. Because I think that they fall in love with things. They're romantics, so like even though the guy is showing her that he doesn't like her, they kind of misplace that as confidence and like they're like, oh, he's doing that. He's so manly. He's doing that because he actually does love me or whatever. And it's like the guy is showing you he don't really want to be with you like that, and you keep sticking around. So don't be mad when you're 36 and you have one of his babies and he has not committed to you. A lot of these women that he'll ask them questions, he'll go, how long was your longest relationship?
On it right now.
And a lot of the women will go like, oh, 3 years or whatever, 4 years.
Yeah, pull up.
But yeah, a lot of the women they'll call in and he would ask them like, what was your longest relationship? And they'll tell him like, oh, I've had like 3 or 4 relationships, and he'll ask them how did they end or how did they go, and they'll never take accountability. They'll be like, oh, he was cool at first, and then he started doing this and that, and and then
Well, it's never your fault.
but yeah, on most of them they never took accountability, never. And we're gonna watch some of them, but they just they dodge accountability every time,
Can't
and
consider it. It's my fault. Like,
yeah,
I'm getting this shit talked to.
I'm gonna queue up another video.
I don't want to talk shit so bad that it's not their fault. But like, that's something for that.
y'all say something.
I might check one
Do
too.
y'all agree with my assessment of modern women?
No.
Do y'all think that something is wrong with them?
Yes.
I think something wrong with them. I agree. In
Okay.
a sense.
Not. I agree with your assessment. Not completely. You know what's crazy? No, it's so crazy.
I think a lot of weaker men, because of the generation we have, there's weaker men.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of them kind of push those women up and give them that power, which feeds in their head that that this is really possible.
Social media.
Because they really believe it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Their head keeps getting pumped up every like they get. It's enough to just their head just gets a little bit bigger.
Like, girl, of course, niggas who would never talk to you in person can follow you on IG and inbox you. Like, don't take that.
Yeah, and you're wearing booty shorts. Like,
It's like you just showing that you just as
you're bent
insecure.
over.
Yeah, what are you talking? Like, come on. And you're like, oh, follow me on IG so you can see how many followers I have, so you know who I am. Like, oh, what? Freaky so like, no.
Why aren't you married? Watch this one.
What was that too?
Who has the better, men or women? Modern women want to control men. Is marrying out the answer? I can tell you no right now, okay? Statistically speaking, listen to what I'm about to say. Statistically speaking, black men date out of their race more successful than black women. But black men prefer black women. We marry them more like to 70% or whatever more than we talk to other races. So and that's like typical of the other races too. Like Hispanic dudes prefer Hispanic women and like white dudes prefer white women. So
Also based on your surroundings too.
mhm. So but black women are the only demographic
doing
of
a
women.
podcast.
who that?
A large percentage of them I've seen come onto his show and they'll offer that up as like a thing, like, oh, I'll just date a white guy or I'll date a guy, I'll date out of my race or whatever. It's like, that's not gonna work either, but you do that.
Why did relationships become so bad? I guess that's what a lot of guys are. Yeah, because you said, like you said, you come from Jamaica and you saw women who didn't have economic opportunities, but you're here.
Because my family migrated to the United States.
You've been
My
here
grandmother did.
But you've been here since
For
you
more opportunities.
But you've been here since you were 4.
Correct.
So most of your life you've seen America. So
Trying to play it like she wasn't.
it's
from
more
it. I've been out here
palatable
since
for a woman like
before.
yourself to just do it alone.
I'm not saying that it's the better option. I'm not saying that's the option I want to have forever. I'm just saying going at it alone, or at least being able to support myself, makes me feel more secure in whatever happens in my life.
Okay. Well, that has nothing to do with men. That has how you perceive it.
I hate to break it to you.
But how we started this is originally you said, I haven't prioritized it. Why do you think if you decide to prioritize it later that you're going to still have the same options as you do at 29?
Say so.
You kind of put words in her mouth right there.
Got pretty.
He phrased it in a way.
He phrased it in a weird way.
I mean, it was straightforward. How do you suspect? How do you expect to do what you want and then then decide to prioritize certain things like?
But I don't know if she ever said that she would have the same options when she get older. But that might be what she inferred at a certain point. I didn't hear.
That's her expectations. She knows all class members, but it's still doing it.
I know you're a
It's pretty privileged. It's pretty privileged.
Yeah.
And it decreases. I mean, I would tell you, I don't want to say her name, but there's a woman who was considered to be one of the baddest around. There are a lot of them, a lot of black women in particular, and they're all over the internet.
But can I say this?
Go ahead.
I look better now than I did at 21 or 24 or even 25.
How
Because
many bodies do you
sometimes
have? What have you
people fall
what have
into
you
their
done
own
since
later.
being
They
single?
go to the
Since you decided to be single, what have you done as a single woman
That's
to improve that?
he asked a similar question like that. He'll say like, "When's the last time you've been in a long term relationship?" And usually the women be like, "A while," and then he'll say something like, "Well, then you're not like your relationship muscles are weak or whatever." That's the analogy he uses.
gym, they start feeling themselves,
Yeah,
they work
yeah.
out, they
They
get into their
atrophy.
own later. Not everyone looks. In college, I think I look crazy. So it just depends on the woman. I never prioritized my looks growing up.
Okay.
It was always my academics, my personality. I played basketball for 10 years.
Right.
I was an athlete. I was doing those things. I knew I was attractive, but that was not even raved about in my family.
I feel bad
It
for her.
wasn't a big.
She was playing basketball because that means she's tall, and most guys are not tall.
You could tell she tall. Look at her legs.
Yeah,
Average, we're average height.
yeah,
We're all average height,
Yeah.
and she's probably taller than all of us.
She's 6'1".
Big deal.
You could tell she big just sitting on the couch.
Look at them legs.
Yeah,
I love it.
them legs wrapped around your head. Come on now,
But the thing is,
squish your head like that
the
watermelon
men
he's
have
eating.
to share your sentiment. The men have to. I mean, I'm actively dating, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the men at the level we're talking about typically avoid women over a certain age because their mindsets are just firmly set. They would kick it with them, hang out with them, but
What's that certain age?
30. That's why I said 50%. I'm just saying because the reality is,
Yeah, you
why
passed that,
why
baby.
do men of value who have all these options, why do men choose to get married? And there's usually one reason: family. Because if you don't want family, why risk the modern family court system, which we've already talked about? So family, and a woman over a certain age is past being able to deliver the amount of kids most guys want. It becomes mad. And it's like, you may look better to your than you did at 21, but men are looking at it different. And I that's why I wanted to do this series, because what women truly believe and what men think are at odds. And all I'm trying to get women to do is recognize that, why is this not such a big issue in other communities? Why do beautiful non-black women with business and brains get bonded?
I think they have different cultures.
We know
We were
we
more
need more
married
single
prior
fellas
to
here. Like, I
1965.
want to ask y'all a question.
We were the
What were you saying?
So we need more single fellas here. I want to ask y'all questions, but it's a public show.
Ask her a question.
It's a public show.
Yeah.
Y'all feel this way, but y'all already dated since y'all wouldn't feel that way.
What's your question?
Do y'all feel the way that he's asking? That he's like talking about?
Okay. Like in regards to like why
Just
won't
dating older women. Well, we're not even that old. Like just dating women and just who have to talk about experiencing and are now ready for settling down. Like, do y'all agree that y'all could, or do y'all think that you couldn't? Like, are y'all looking for that? Would you be looking for that?
Right now?
Yeah.
No.
Later, would you be looking for that? You would, because why? Well, and that's just a random why.
Why I think
Why would you?
why would I settle down?
Yeah.
Mhm. Later
When a shorty who you know is
rather than now?
Oh, now it's not I'm not ready now. It's not necessary. I'm not there's so much necessary that I need to finish first before I can like just settle down and just be chilling at home, making breakfast and shit.
Eggs with
You
cheese,
do
man.
that. You can do that already though.
I already do it already.
I said I don't want. I don't want to share my space yet. Rather. Why not? So, if you, do you want to do that?
I'll go too far. I'm starting like their 30s.
So, at what age do you think that you're gonna start looking?
I mean, I'm looking out, but personally, right?
Well, we also gotta consider I'm leaving in like 2 months.
Here.
I can't look for nobody here, but I don't mean here, but you maybe in like 2 years ago, probably, or a year and a half, some shit like that. Okay. So when you're settled in. Yeah.
Most married.
Wherever you end up, though. Settled in wherever you end up. Oh, my bad. You can hit play.
We come from culture of family, village to reason family. The hardcore reality is our women have turned away.
Do you think that they turn away because they become financially more
Nope,
secure?
you're not.
Or
You're
is it
not.
just the
You're not
ideas?
financially more secure. You.
That's not the research I see. I don't understand how
I
they're
don't
saying
care.
completely different
Well,
things.
then
That's crazy.
okay. Where are you getting? The Department of Bureau and Labor Statistics, the CDC, the Department of Health, the U.S. Census. You don't get much better than that. You may be looking at propaganda, but these are peer reviewed. This stuff, this like the wage gap. This stuff has been peer reviewed. It's just not true.
Jesus Christ.
Simply not
Do you
true.
think the women in the 60s were doing just as well as women are now?
It doesn't
Almost lost to see
matter.
a lot of people
That-
hustle.
In the
That shit don't
60s,
get
more
documented.
education does not translate into more income. You have more
70%
education.
of how many people they vast.
True. Simply not
Do you
true.
think the women in the 60s were doing just as well as women are now?
It doesn't matter.
I need to turn it up. Let me see something real quick.
That in the 60s, more education does not translate into more income. You have more education, but you have more debt. And every time
Hey, the homies here.
when I talk to college educated black women, in particular, I had a conversation with someone whose video is going to drop. And she talks to a much more, and I said, you're talking to elite level women, college graduates, that's an infinitesimally small group. The numbers I showed you can be verified by anybody. And it completely undercuts if you're doing better, then where is it showing up at? It's not in the bank. But you hear a lot of women saying, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an this and that, and they're just freaking lying. They're lying.
They're lying. They just go lying.
Lying. I go on my Instagram. I talk to them every day. I'm an entrepreneur. What do you do? Oh, I'm selling. I want to get into real estate. Where was this video? And see, and how do you get women? How do you get women who are in denial? And then other women tell them, go ahead, girl, live your best life. Don't settle. So women are telling other women this stuff. And you know what's starting to happen? I'm going to tell you what's starting to really happen. Becky, Marisol, Myling, and Jamila are saying, okay, you don't want Keith? You don't want Tyrone? They're going to take black masculine studies at University of California, Fresno. Maria's learning how to fry chicken the way we like it. The Thai women. Other races of women have sat back and heard black women for my lifetime say they don't need us. And they're saying, oh, black men, according to the CDC, make the best, most involved fathers. We grew up in a gynocracy. We grew up, most of us raised by our mamas, so we are even more willing to listen to women. Black men are far easier to get along with than any other group that's really raising a serious patriarchy. So this is why you're starting to see non-black women
take that indignant black attitude over to an Iranian man or a Middle Eastern man. How do you think he gonna deal with that? He's not gonna fuck with that at all. Because definitely over there, that's they definitely believe in a man being the superior.
Yeah, it's religious to them
Yeah,
over there. Like it's way deeper than that.
it's not.
You ain't even got no choice. You know what I'm saying?
You feel me? Get in that kitchen and cook that food.
That shit wow.
Actively competing. They're all over my Instagram, all over my YouTube. They're all in there because they listen to black women say, "Oh, I don't want that average guy. I don't want this. I don't want that." And he got to earn this and earn that. And they're like, uh, so you can't get upset when men who say black men's first choice would be to be with black women, but black women in mass aren't really prioritizing relationships. Not when you are value to us. You're prioritizing relationships. You've done what you want to do. And then it's like, all right. And it would be different that if the end result was a better, more agreeable woman. But the tendency tends to be a woman who has had more issues, more trauma, more gun shy, not nearly as hopeful. I had that video. Matter of fact, I got a video up on Instagram right now about a married woman telling women to wait. A divorced woman telling women to wait, and they got a 23-year-old woman saying, "Oh no, I don't want to do all this." Young women are hearing women in their late 20s, 30s, and 40s, and they're saying, "I don't want to be like my aunt. I don't want to be like my mama. I want something different." What was I going to show you about this thing about this? This was about the real estate.
I don't know if that's true. TikTok and all that.
If we're going on maybe $1 million, then what, Kevin? What we gonna refer this conversation? What if I do? It's a lot of people. Little Dirk. I mean, you know, he's a rapper.
This woman was 26 years old. This woman is 26 years old. Talking about
You sitting here talking.
where am I gonna get the millions of dollars I want? How can I have a business in real estate? And what if in a year I'm making $5 million a year? College educated. And it's like,
I think right now everyone thinks having a business is easy and everyone can get rich quick and money's just gonna fall from the sky. I do agree that that thought process is everywhere. You see on social media, you see everyone with a business, you see everyone making money. You don't really know who's doing it and who's not because
this is why men look at women like yourself and say, okay, she owns her own business, she's college educated. You should be, men want women would like for women like you to be wanting to prioritize relationships. But the reality is, women like yourself don't want to prioritize relationships. That's just what, and
He said they don't want what?
He said a lot of beautiful black women don't really prioritize relationships. And from what I've seen, and anecdotal is my opinion, is a lot of beautiful women, beautiful black women who I've bumped into have been kind of self-centered and like seemed like they didn't want a relationship with a regular guy. They kind of seemed like they were holding out for as rich a guy as they could get or a guy with as much money as they could get. So I never really pursued them like that. Like I would talk to them and I would see what their mind was at when I was younger. But when they, at least when they were younger, when I was dating, because it was like high school or middle school and shit, they were just fucking empty-headed and self-centered and just no personality. Like,
But I think like for what he's saying with her, like, well, I came in like, but she looked like she got like something going for herself and shit like that.
mm-hmm.
It'd be harder for a female or a black female who's established and got some shit going for herself to prioritize a relationship because prioritizing a relationship most of the time means like taking a back seat to their man, to their partner, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And if you already got a business going, you don't want to take that. So I mean, I can see that. I can see that angle. And you can almost respect that angle because if you got your own shit going on and you don't want to take no back seat, I'm for that because that means you trying to be out there and do your own thing. But if you don't have that going for yourself, if you not there, if that's not what you want at that time, and you just like, nah, I still just don't want to be second fiddle in a relationship, then I think that's a whole different subject and topic, like, because that's crazy. Like, You don't want to prioritize the relationship because you might have to follow someone else's lead.
I think the problem is they be young and they be beautiful, and niggas just turn into mush in their hands. So it's like they feel like they have so much power over us that they don't want to relinquish that power until they're old and they've had sex with every guy that they wanted to have sex with. And then by
I
then,
need someone to scoop me
now
up.
they got
Like,
one
now
kid. Now they, yeah, now
to being in the field.
yes, now they're all about relationships. Now that they're older and wiser, and they've jumped off the dick carousel, and now they're looking for you. Mhm.
That's facts though. 'Cause I know a lot of people out there that get their kid, and then it's like, all right, now it's time. Like, what Drake say? Sometimes life forces us to slow down. Hey, once you have that kid, you be second guessing things. Now you like, I don't want to do all this. I want to play it safe. Someone come save me.
Yeah.
Someone just save me.
Yeah, they start them bills start hitting and shit, and they alone. They got one income.
But the crazy thing about it is some of these single moms look better after they had kids.
Hey, it'd be a blessing to some of y'all, cause hey, listen, some of y'all kids do y'all right. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
cap.
slow them down.
Hey, some of y'all kids do y'all right, cause hey,
It slows them down. It forces them.
yeah, hey,
Forces them to slow down. They can't run the streets like they used to.
and that does wonders for y'all. That does wonders for y'all. Y'all totally different after when you slow down.
There's a couple in that crew that from that crew that how can I put this? We know we used to hang out with these couple of these girls who weren't that great back in the day, but they done had kids and matured and all that kind of stuff. I think Cousin Blossom is looking really good, doing really good for himself.
Hey, sometimes that kid put that right baby weight on someone, they get that grown woman body. Hey, listen, some of them kids really bless y'all at the same time. They really do. But I mean, you still got kids.
That's right.
Listen,
That's right.
that's a tough
That's
one because
in.
you can look different.
That's the
You can look better than what you started with.
conclusion
You got a
is.
kid though.
Yeah.
And that, hey, that's
You're,
tough.
you remember we were at one of our homeboys' birthdays, and we were talking about like that night. I think I had watched the Kevin Samuels. You might have been there. No, I know you were there. I don't know. I don't think you were there. But we were talking about if a 9 or a 10 does she remain a 9
Hey,
10.
or a 10? Okay, yeah,
A girl with a kid can't be a 10.
yeah. Like in the eyes of guys, no, you're not a 10 anymore. I'm sorry.
to a single guy that don't have kids himself.
Yeah.
But I'll take that. I will say there's a small, like minuscule percentage of guys where you can still hold that value because I feel like some guys like they look for that, they long for that. Like I know I
If she's bad enough,
some homies that are okay with like really being
yes,
stepdads taking care of
yes,
kids. And, hey, shout out to y'all. Much respect because I just know it's you gotta be a strong and different kind of dude to take care of someone else's kid.
yes,
But it gets done. And to the homies that do it, shout out to y'all. But I
Way to
just
go, you guys.
hey man, someone got right.
yes.
You gotta do it.
And it does not have to be.
It should be the guys with kids already. Like if they got a kid and
Start a
they
whole big ass
this
You know what I'm saying? Brady Bunch
Come-
your shit.
cheaper by the dozen
combine,
head.
combine your relationships and you both got
Hey,
a kid.
but also to, to you niggas out there putting kids in these females.
And then
Listen, hey, listen, I know what y'all be thinking too. Like, yeah, put the baby in there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You'll always have access.
you always have access, and then, cause the next nigga gonna see that and be like, yeah, no, she got a kid. So, hey, you wrong for doing that. Hey, bro, just give her back, bro. Let her kid free.
You feel me?
Give her back kid free. If you don't want her, give her back.
Teach her some manners too.
So here's the question: what would you tell men who are wanting
Oh my God, what's going on?
relationships, in particular marriage, to do? Black men in particular, and women who are age appropriate, like yourself, aren't. What do you tell them? Wait.
Work on themselves. Get therapy.
No,
Read a
they're
book.
already ready to go. They're ready to go. They're ready to go. They've already done that work. They're
You've
ready to
already
go.
done the inner
Yep.
work. Keep building your empire. You'll meet your
What
queen
about get a
eventually.
non-black woman? Well, wait a minute. Why not?
If that's what they like.
No.
How long are black guys gonna wait
For what?
to choose a woman?
What do you mean?
You said in the next 2 years you're gonna start dating.
Okay, what does that have to do with the?
It's not forever. You're not gonna wait forever.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. That's my
Oh,
point.
you talking about in terms of
Finding a woman.
yeah.
You're not gonna spend your whole life alone.
Yeah, that was the whole point that I was telling Solo.
But they act like they could.
Um,
They act like they could do battle by themselves.
okay,
Nah,
I
that,
get you
hey,
saying.
that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's an act. Cause I mean, don't nobody ever really want. Very few people really want to be alone. Like, that's the life for you. Like, I know some people who just really be unbothered. Shout out to them.
Mm-hmm.
But it don't. It
That's
does you
not
no
the
good
most.
when you fake it, and that's not what you really want. Like,
That's not the majority of women
what you
either.
looking for? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know damn well you're not trying to be alone. So why don't you get your shit together and go get you somebody? So,
Mm-hmm.
but no, I'd rather have multiple somebodies. And that's the craziest part. That's the craziest part because, bro, you think about it, like all everything aside, if you had to step back into the dating scene today, regardless, in LA, like someone you meet,
Wait. That's low key part of my reasoning for wanting to do this show. I'm married. You guys are single. Those of us who are single, some of us are. Are you?
huh?
Okay. Talk later. But I was trying to get the perspective of single guys. I'm trying to see what's going on in the dating scene. Is it still as bad as he was reporting it is? Because I've seen a lot of the statistics. The statistics say that black people are the last to get married and the first to get divorced. And black guys are actually in the middle class and we don't go to jail and we don't have kids and we are just working basically and we live alone. Black women are having babies out of wedlock at higher rates than other ethnicities, and they like a nice percentage of them is making more money because they have degrees. But even though he said this earlier, even though that's happening, I think black guys still make more money than like an average black guy makes more money than the average black woman, I believe. But that could be different by now. Last time I looked at that statistic. But and whenever I hear him talk to women, he tries to get across to them that you have to have expectations for the dating market that are realistic.
Realistic, but that's the problem. That's the problem. People do not live in reality.
Mm-hmm.
People live in the world that they create in their mind. Like, bro, I think I'm this, so I deserve that. And it's cool. I mean, it's cool to see yourself that way. It's cool to speak life into yourself, to manifest things.
Confidence is one thing,
Confidence is one
but
thing.
once it becomes delusion,
Bro, delusional.
yeah,
I've met so many delusional females, homegirls included. Like, and sometimes I just gotta tell them, like, yo, where's my homegirl? And you sitting here telling, like, bro, you believe her?
yeah.
You believe, like, bro, you.
I told them I was saying earlier before you came. I said I've looked into girls' eyes and told them like they asked me for advice or something they're dealing with a guy. I'm like, he does not love you, and then they'll go and they'll get pregnant by the guy.
Bro,
I'm like, all right, well, that it is what it is, bro.
I feel like a lot of people feel like they have to learn the hard way. And I would say from like experience and just being around my homegirls and like certain stuff that they told me about situations they walked into. Like, bro, your whole homegirl could tell you like, yeah, don't mess with him. He not good.
Yeah,
But you like, shit, I'm gonna take this project on.
it's like
And other bitches can't do it.
it's like
These bitches can't do it.
it's the fruit in the Garden of Eden.
I could be the one to change them.
They all think they know how hot the sun is.
And I've done talked to the homie about this because I got one homie crazy like that. I say he got broken bird syndrome. And that's what I feel like is like you take on these project women like and feel like you can nurse them back to health. Like, bro, like We too old. I'm too old for. I'm too old
Can't
for.
don the cape. You can't
Yo,
don the cape.
you got that broken bird syndrome is a motherfucker because it will linger and you will constantly be on a project that you don't finish. And them niggas that be around the house like starting one thing before they finish the other. Like, damn, can you finish? Like, finish putting that drawer together before you try to move on to the fucking kitchen.
Yeah.
What is you doing?
I
Illusion.
feel like that's why guys, most guys are middle class, and I feel like most guys are working on themselves. The ones that are like just dating. That's why I'm like, I still have hope for you that you'll meet, a nice young lady, and you'll settle down, and I'll see some little miniatures
Oh,
DeAndre.
he's worried about the children part thing. That's what he's worried about.
Yeah.
He's not worried I'm gonna be alone. He thinks I'm gonna have to. I'm not gonna have a kid, but I'm not.
He said,
I will not. The
You say
goal.
that now.
Let me.
This age of you, I'm sorry.
The goal is not to be alone, but being alone right now is extremely necessary. In the sense of, well, single. I shouldn't say alone. Single is necessary.
Right now, you're
But
doing
because
it.
he ain't alone. You hear me?
Yeah.
but the children thing will never happen. I think the world should quite accept that.
You're saying that now. I'm the world, and I say that you're saying that now because you're young. Older you might hear you saying this. He's gonna watch this and be like, I feel differently. How or he might. I'm not
How old do you think you would be before you had your last kid?
me.
Yeah.
That depends on how much money I make as I get older.
What's
Because
but what's the oldest you can see yourself having a kid?
um
Like now.
nearing the end of my wife's fertility window. So whatever age I am at that point,
If it was coming
um,
down to it, y'all just gonna be like, fuck it. Like, let's get one more out while we still can.
yeah, that's why I said it depends on how much money I make. Because if I make a lot of money and my wife is feeling like she wants another kid, and I could pay for some type of medicine or something to make it to where we could have another kid, then I could just keep having kids. If I got the money. If I had the money, I would be
Keep popping these motherfuckers out. Like, fuck it.
exactly. If I had the money, I would be like what's name who has all those kids by different women, but just by my wife. Like, Shannon, boy out there. I have 19 kids by my wife.
Bro is out here fertilizing the world.
Yeah. You feel me? As many kids as I could financially
He was gonna be
hold.
fun, Uncle. I'll let y'all guys off every once every 6 months.
I'll go hang out with y'all.
I'll have so many different ones, bro. There'll be ones you never even met. You'll be like, oh, you're the son?
Another kid?
Like, oh, you one of the kids? Like, yeah. Yes, I am. I'm Bartholomew K. Bartholomew.
That's what they like is black women, but black women aren't prioritizing relationships at their appropriate age.
So they went after the black woman, and the black woman was like,
Yeah, they're like
"Screw
you. They're like you. They're like you, saying, "Hey, you may be cool, you're just not right for me. I'm not prioritizing. I'm not thinking about it right now." Doesn't have to be malicious.
Listen, I've dated, and I've met some crazy
Yeah,
men.
we're not talking about the crazy ones. We're talking about the high value men, the men that got their shit. That's how I got into this business. Men who had gotten their minds right, their body right, their money right, got therapy, got on track, and they looked around and said, "Where are the women?" That's how I started this conversation.
Solo.
Okay, but that's
In
not the
this
question.
city,
You're in bizarre.
areas.
Okay, you're okay.
But this is a reality to a lot of
Okay,
people.
but no, it's not. This is Miami, and again, that's fine. But I'm asking about what about the rest of the world? Miami is not the United States or the rest of the world. And I'm saying, what would you tell your brother if you had one? Your cousins, if they were those kind of men, what would you tell them if when they are ready to look for a wife to start building with, and the women who fit your category aren't just for your reasons not prioritizing? And what you told me is, wait, sit over there and keep yourself busy until I'm ready to quit doing what I'm doing. That's basically what you said.
I'm up down there sawing
Or do you
wood.
see a difference?
Is that Solo? That gotta be
I
Solo.
say ask her out, and
You already asked her out.
Yo, that's crazy. Flat white. There.
And what happened?
She
She
said
ate that
the same
watermelon.
Said
stuff
no
you're
thanks.
saying. You
Night
saying the
night.
same stuff you're saying.
That's crazy.
Similar stuff. Hey, I'm doing my own thing.
Yo, it's 11,
So if I
18,
flipped
and
this and I said it was a black woman who was thorough and had her stuff together, and she was ready to start and build a family, and she ran into black men who were stuck on pause, not ready, what would you tell her to do? To just wait?
She's gonna date outside.
I said, what would you tell her?
To probably date outside her race.
All right, well, here's reality. Here's reality.
If he wants a wife now and she's not ready, then I guess he could date out your race.
So here's.
But I think there are probably, like how you said, if I had a twin, maybe my twin is ready for
Thank you.
marriage.
You can't make it up, folks. I said it last night. That is always the answer. That is always the answer. It is. I'm not ready. But instead, if I'm not, go find another black woman. It is never go pick a different race. But with black women, it's usually go pick a different race. I said this last night. Y'all go look on. I said it last night. And that's the
Because
honest
black
thing.
women are more loyal to black men. We
You
are.
filed-
Most
you
black
filed divorce
women want to date a black man, but not every. I mean, I know there are a large percentage of black couples, and they date, and the majority are black and black.
The black
but
man.
black women are the most loyal to black men. I
Black-
ask black women all the time, would you date outside the race? Like, no.
Loyal.
They
Okay,
don't want
excuse
to,
me.
but
Excuse me.
they will if they
Ma'am, that's not okay.
Second
That's
1979 cognac.
black women file divorce at the highest rate of any race of women in this country. The average black marriage lasts 5 years. According to the numbers, you're not. You're the least.
I'm not the least one.
Least loyal. You don't stay in your relationships with
Yeah,
black
but what
men.
if he has issues?
See,
My father had
hold
issues.
on, hold on, hold
I know a
on.
lot of them that have
Okay,
issues.
okay, hold on. See, this is where it gets disingenuous. You just said something that you feel, but the black divorce rate is almost 75%. 8 out of 10 of those divorces are initiated by the woman. She's the plaintiff. The average black marriage lasts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. According to the numbers, you wreck your own homes. You're not loyal. You ask the average sister, how many relationships have you had? And like I asked you, how many times have you been in a relationship where a man has left you? Y'all leave. And it's always, I am still waiting to meet a woman who tells me on day one that the reason my long-term relationship ended is because I was at fault. It's always there was something wrong with the man. So you guys tell yourselves that you're
That's happened for me once.
okay.
I mean, it happened.
Once, but in the greater scheme of things, it's in the minority. And women tell each other, "You're great, you're wonderful, we got our stuff together." And this is the delusion y'all continue to feed. And it's like, well,
That's that delusion we was
at
talking
some
about.
point, men who want a legacy are going to have to make a decision. And I think black women need to recognize that, look, it's not a matter of black men looking outside of the race. It's a matter of other races of women are actively coming to get black men.
So they were raised. They were raised. I mean,
Then
what
blame,
I've seen.
then blame y'all's mamas.
Maybe our moms did it on our own.
That's it.
And our mother. I mean,
No,
it
your
is-
mother's
it's the
failed you.
truth.
Your
Our
mo-
mothers did
our
it
mothers
on our
failed
own.
you. Mothers failed you. Mothers failed you in relationships. They failed you. Yes, they did. And I wish I had my mom on here. Yes, they did. Baby boomers and Generation X women failed their daughters because you were taught to be individuals, and that's not. But you're not independent. But you don't make independent money. You were taught to be independent. Black men are actually more loyal than black women because they're still trying to date. They're accepting women who are larger. They're accepting women with kids. They're accepting women who have all these different fingers and hairs and nails and tattoos. I have talked to a woman last night who was 23 years old. Who said, if I put you in a room with the kind of men you said you want, would they pick? Still trying to date. They're accepting women who are larger. They're accepting women with kids. They're accepting women who have all these different fingers and hairs and nails and tattoos. Black. I had to talk to a woman last night who was 23 years old. Who said, I said, if I put you in a room with the kind of men you said you want, will they pick you? And they were non-black men. She said, no. I said, if I put you in the kind of room with men you want and with black, would they accept you? She said, yes. Why? Because of our culture. Black men have accepted less, but now the thing is, y'all have not conceived the world where black men said enough. They're not accepting it anymore. They're saying too much because all we're getting is accept us. 300 pounds and loud and ratchet and dirt and twerking. It's like they're sick.
So what would a mother? What are they supposed to impart on their? Because for me, I
I'll
thought
tell you.
being independent was a good thing.
Nope.
I have friends who are Hispanic and their moms
They failed
are
into
constantly trying to get them to be with someone when they're younger. And to
well,
me, that's
because you were raised to be independent.
exactly. So what would
Which is a failure because you can't be independent and provide for yourself. What would you tell your daughter? To be just because you're educated. Shahara's Ali, shout out to you, sister. White women go to college to find it. Black women go to college to prove they don't need it. Your mothers, our mothers failed you because your mothers are actively your competition. This is why you see women who are in their 20s partying with their daughters in their 30s and 40s. I'm sorry, on Instagram.
You remember that picture that our friend sent us in the group message with the daughter and the mother?
Oh yeah.
They were both dressed very young, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, because they're going after the same guys, right?
You think
You can
that's
have
just because like more more females are having kids younger these days?
Yeah, I think that's part of it.
So like they're so much closer in age than like probably our parents or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. They have them extra young, so they be still young when they
They be
would
having
be a
they be
teenager.
having homegirls.
But to be fair, if I had had a kid with my woman when I first met her, he would probably be like 14 right now. It would be like
That would be
he'd be
crazy,
like a
bro.
little man, and I'll be like,
Bro, that's crazy.
yeah, it
We
would.
be at Friday night football games.
We were really that's great.
Yeah,
And did that. I want to go to a football game.
we'd be going to a tennis match.
Said I'm going.
I don't want my son to get CTE.
He said we going for a bag. That money ain't tennis.
My nigga can be a chess player.
I
Yeah,
was
this
telling my nephew, I ain't pulling up to your chest.
this woman and this woman. You got
What do you
mother
mean
daughter
competing?
competing because if your mama ain't married, she's still dating. And if you are 25 and your mother is 41, y'all are likely looking at the same kind of men. Women have not raised their daughters. Why do we have so
My
many women
mama's looking
over
at
40
the new
still talking about, I'm 40 and I look good, 50 and fly? Your ass should be sitting the fuck down somewhere. You should be somebody's grandma baking cookies. But instead, you got the short haircut out here talking about you a diva. You can look around, and it's like, oh, I'm good, I'm a diva, and I'm this and that. So why? And then they're competing because, like, I'm 52, and I have women get angry because I don't date women my age. I'm like, oh,
What age group did you date?
under 35. Because number one, I don't deal with the lack of fitness.
What if they're in shape and they're 36? Halle Berry looks great.
Okay, you asked what in general. I'm dated older than that, but in general. But here's the thing. Why is the next?
Yeah, I think it's weird that he dates that much younger than himself.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Like, bro, that's almost 20 years, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That, and I mean, I get it when they're older, like he's 50, they're 30, like it's a grown woman. But I still will always just think back, like, bro, you was 20 before this person was even born.
Mm-hmm. I think
You was buying drinks, going to the club,
I
bro.
think he got divorced and he has kids, so he's not looking for kids. And if I found myself in that situation, I would not be trying to settle down either. I would be making large amounts of money, driving a Ferrari, and having sex with whoever I wanted to have sex with. I would not be linking myself to no old woman. No, thank you.
I've been
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Bye. I'm out of here. I'm about to go pick up a young floozy.
Next lowest group of married women, white women at 54%. Because every other race knows that in order to have how many black women say, we want generational wealth? You ain't have generations. The black family is not a black woman and kids. You weren't taught to partner. So the reality is, a lot of women, like in your position, I think honestly, in places that you don't like to talk about because it feels like it makes you look weak, you really want relationship, you're just scared of it because you don't know how to do it. Because you weren't taught. You weren't taught how to cooperate. The word submission is a dirty word. The word agreeable and average is a dirty word. We got boss bitches and bad bitches and divas. And you can't be a bad bitch in HR, in customer service. But you got a bunch of women on Instagram and YouTube telling young women to get out here and get the bag and so on and so forth. Then you got 45 and 50-year-old women marrying 27-year-old dudes, and these women got money. And what are they doing? Settling just like the high value men did. There is no reason a black woman cannot be smart, educated, and a wife. Just weren't trained how to. And then when we get to the age right now, the mindset is, I don't want to do something different because I don't want to reject my mother's teaching. It's almost like I don't want to say my mom is wrong, but the funny thing is, judge your mama as harshly as you judge your daddy. And then give your daddy the forgiveness you gave your mama, forgive them both, forgive yourself and move on. Because they did the best they could, but how many people have ever sat down and got their daddy's side of the story from their daddy's mouth? That's what's going on now. Men are starting to go back and get their father's side. Kanye West is doing that. Everybody know Kanye loves his mama. Even Kanye right now is talking about men's rights issues. He's like, you know what? My mama moved us from Atlanta to Chicago for this job.
Controversy of today.
I love
That
my
was
mama.
still controversy back then.
Mm-hmm. He was
Now in
always
his
involved
40s
in
as a
something.
father and a husband, he's just now learning his daddy stuff. And what he didn't learn is how to be a man. So I'm gonna say this and let's kind of wrap it up. If black men are not fit for marriage, as a lot of successful black women would say, then why do you get upset when those very black men marry non-black women?
Pause it here. What do y'all think about that question?
I'm be honest, I promise you.
He said, if black women aren't ready to settle down with black guys, with average black guys, then why do they get mad when they see him with another race woman? I have a funny story about that. Me and my wife is mixed race. My wife is light skinned. Me and my wife, we would go to them. Yes, she's
I thought you was
Mexican and black.
Shut the fuck up.
Yes, she found out she did it 23andMe.
Oh, this is recent news, nigga. Saying so I'm supposed to be in the market for sure.
Yes, she thought she was.
Common knowledge.
Yeah, come on, there's no way.
Oh, me and this woman, we used to go to the mall together as young adults, and we'll walk around and we'll see like a group of black girls, and they'll be happy until they see us, and they'll see her and they'll think that she's like just Mexican because she could pass for like just Mexican, and they look hot. They look like I'm about to have to fight some girls in the mall, you know. Right. That just goes to attest for like, they don't like seeing it. But but that being said, the girl who I dated before my wife was like my complexion dark, and she was nasty. She cheated on me, everything. So it's like, but that doesn't mean that all black women are like that. That's just a percentage of them, and she was among that percentage. But I've dated other black girls who like they were cool and it would have worked out, but we moved away or whatever, you know. Like it broke up, it fell apart some other way. It wasn't like her fault, you know. It could have been my fault. I wasn't always on some late relationship shit. I was young at once. But yeah, my experience has been that um uh a lot of black women aren't trying to settle down with the regular guys. They don't give off that vibe. They give off the vibe of I'm trying to get flown out by Chris Brown and get my back broken and get a Birkin bag and drive a nice car and work at home, not work or not work. You know, they trying to do less work for more money. That's what they want.
And you know the crazy thing about that when I just got back from Houston and I was telling my cousins that out there it's like the women out here, all of them, they all got like goals and like career based opportunities and stuff like that, or like real focused on making their own money. Like in a sense, without social media, you know what I mean? Like actual jobs.
Yeah.
And that's just not over here. That's just not the mindset on this side of especially like LA.
It's a come up city out here. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I feel like I would be more. That's another reason why I think I'd be cool over there in my surroundings and stuff. But everybody else is
So what you
they
You'll
telling
be in
us?
a different environment.
So what you telling us is you preparing to meet somebody down south.
I'm not preparing. I just said
I'm trying to answer Rich's question for
The
real.
women are gonna be different down there, bro, and you're gonna like it.
It's gonna be something new and different.
Yeah.
Caught off guard.
You're gonna be like, oh, I never experienced this. What? I did. Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
The girls out here
I ain't coming back.
ain't can't trust them. I mean, there's probably some, but you gotta sift through a lot of fucking just craziness to get to her. And she got crazy friends, so they're probably poisoning her.
And
there be some cool ones. They just ain't work out the way.
do you ever really think about how crazy it is, like to meet someone random like that, like someone you didn't know in school, college, like y'all met on a random,
Uh-huh.
and then one day y'all could possibly be married.
I think it's possible.
Like how crazy do you think those marriages are? Like people who just randomly met and then ended up being
Oh, like
married.
that coffee
I don't
shop
think
meet
it's
type shit.
random. I don't think it's
Yo,
random.
but there has to be a percentage of some married couples out there doing like that.
Oh, you mean like
No, that coffee shop shit.
at first sight they fell in love?
No,
Or
not
like
even that, but just like they just
they
met on a total like I'm not even from here, you're not from here, and then
uh-huh.
like we just happen to be here running across each other.
Like the guy spits game or he says something
Yeah,
funny and she laughs and then they
yeah,
just get married. I don't know. I wonder what percentage of the population that is.
that's a crazy ass thing.
Yeah, that is.
That's gonna be you when you go down there.
What?
I don't know. I like it's gonna be some lady who he works with or something. You're gonna be like, oh, you're kind of cute, and then you're gonna invite her out to some drinks or something, or she gonna invite him somewhere to a party or something. She
You
gonna
gonna
be
be like, I'm
there.
gonna make some salmon.
She's gonna be, she gonna be looking bad. Be like, Esmeralda looking good tonight. I'm just playing. I don't know. I don't know what name she gonna have. Look at Tina. Damn, girl. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Please give us a like, and give us a comment if you disagree with what we were saying, if you disagree with anything I was saying. My name is KO. If you guys want to give your names or handles, I can put your Instagrams on there if y'all want or not, or you have to remain incognito. But thank you for watching. Love you guys.